lads, it's Tommy here and welcome to the Jude Bellingham to Liverpool big transfer update, because I'm really excited to bring you guys this Liverpool news, because we have an extended interview with Christian Falk thanks to the Empire of the Cop website, and he said that there is a very good chance that Jude Bellingham will sign for Liverpool, because Jude Bellingham would love to be at Liverpool. His idol growing up was Steven Gerrard, so he's, I think, was a Liverpool fan, or maybe even he is now a Liverpool fan, and he was following Liverpool growing up. And also his current role model is Jordan Henderson, and you saw how much Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jude Bellingham got on well during the England camp. And we will also talk about the France-England game yesterday, because I have some very strong words for Gareth Southgate. And at the end, Christian Falk said the clubs will have to talk, and Liverpool, of course, will have to bring the money. Dortmund, even though Dortmund employees love Jurgen Klopp, and some of them still have a very close relationship with Jurgen Klopp. In the end, if Liverpool need to bring the money and put it on the table in front of Dortmund, because Bellingham would get a lot of money no matter where he goes. He would get a fabulous salary, and he's not after the money first and foremost. He said in an interview recently that he wants to create memories, and he wants to have a lasting legacy at the club where he can win titles and trophies, and the memories are worth so much more than a flashy car or a big house, because they won't last. But the memories that Bellingham will create with the club winning a Champions League or winning a league title would last so much longer, those memories, than any house he can buy, any car he can buy. And those are his words, and this is exactly the kind of mentality that Liverpool players need to have, and Jurgen Klopp will love this, in my opinion. And according to Christian Falk, Jude Bellingham was convinced that Liverpool is the best move for him, and there were many talks with his father Mark, who is basically conducting negotiations first and foremost, and also his mother Denise. Liverpool already have a very close relationship with the family. Remember that when Bellingham was just 17 years old, Liverpool invited the whole Bellingham family to the Oxford training center, or I'm not sure if that was open yet, when he was like 2 years old, I think it was, and Liverpool gave a tour of the Liverpool training facilities to the Bellingham family. And already the Bellingham's father, Mark, has a huge respect for Jurgen Klopp as well. And also, apparently, Mark Bennett is his agent, but there was some clarification from Christian Falk about the role that Mark Bennett is playing in the Bellingham negotiations. There were many talks, and I have been told from reliable sources, that's what Florian Pettenberg, Sky Sports Germany journalist, has said, that from reliable sources that Mark Bennett is clearly and certainly not Bellingham's agent. He has nothing to do with any negotiations. He didn't speak to Real Madrid as well. The negotiations for Bellingham are with his parents. Mark Bennett is a friend of the family who basically gives advice to the Bellingham family, who gives, just suggestions and advice on how to proceed, but he's not his agent. So Christian Falk said that there are many points. One that is, I think it has always been his plan to get back to the Premier League. Going to Germany is a step that many young English players take. Jadon Sancho did that at Dortmund, and Bellingham saw that, and it was a good move. But now they need to see where the best club is for him to perform. At Liverpool you have Henderson, you have Milner, and they have a special age. Thiago is often injured, and that's not nice. We saw him at Bayern Munich playing very well, and it's a pity that Thiago is injured so much. I think Bellingham sees the chance that he can be a leader at Liverpool as soon as he goes there, and also he will play. Bellingham will play. He will not sit on the bench, because there is a big gap in Liverpool's midfield right now that needs to be filled with quality, and Bellingham can certainly fill that with a lot of quality. And Christian Falk also said that the 100 130 million pound transfer fee is the benchmark. If Bellingham is convinced to go to Liverpool and convinced that Jurgen Klopp is the best manager to get to work under and the best manager to improve him, at the end of the day he has a contract at Dortmund, and Dortmund won't say yes, we know Jurgen Klopp, so we will sell Bellingham to Liverpool for less money, so you can have him 20 million cheaper. Probably Dortmund will not say that. But if Bellingham say, I will want to go to Liverpool and Liverpool only, then Dortmund will have to negotiate with Liverpool and hopefully they can reach a compromise. We won't take the offer from Real Madrid. Dortmund won't say that. They won't take the offer from Chelsea or Man City. I heard that Liverpool can pay about 85 or 90 million pounds, but if the takeover happens and if new owners come in, it's a very good possibility that either new investment or a new full takeover happens before the summer transfer window opens, then Liverpool will have a lot of money to spend and the transfer fee won't be a problem. Pep Guardiola is also very convincing a manager when it comes to talking to players. You couldn't count on getting Bellingham cheaper, but perhaps FSG will sell the club and new owners can put in a lot more money and the supporters will be happy. What kind of wages will Bellingham be likely to demand? Christian Falk answered, this is not the big point in these discussions, because first it's about where Bellingham can play, where he can perform. I heard that Real Madrid have been informed that the talks are very far with Liverpool, very far advanced. So you can see that for him. It's not the first question about money, otherwise Chelsea or PSG and Man City will be first in line, but it's Liverpool who are first in line because Bellingham would love to play for Liverpool. I think Bellingham knows that he's young and he sees now that what is the point of more money if you move to England in such a position that he is currently in. He won't lose this now if he goes to a club and says I want more money, but if it will be more trouble to play. Bellingham wants, of course, a decent salary, but first and foremost he wants to advance his footballing career. He wants to go to a club where he will be a guaranteed starter, and certainly at Liverpool he will be a guaranteed starter. At other clubs, at Chelsea, at Man City, at Real Madrid, he will be just one of many midfielders, and I'm not sure if he will be playing regularly at any of those clubs. And according to Christian Falk, Jurgen Klopp did a very good job of convincing Bellingham that he will play at Liverpool every week. It's in Bellingham's head, it's very clear that he wants to go to a club where he can play regularly, and that's the first question that he asks himself: can I play there regularly? And not how much money are they offering, how big of a wages he will earn, because once you earn these kind of footballer wages, I think for a sensible person the most important thing shouldn't be money. The most important thing should be how can you advance in your career, and also how can you have a lasting legacy at the club, a lasting impression. And Bellingham's attitude is perfect in my opinion. You would want to create memories with the fans, with the club, and not just certainly to earn the most money. And Christian Falk was also asked, we have seen the footage of the relationship between Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. What impact has that had on a possible move to Liverpool? And Christian Falk answered, of course it helps. Jamal Musiala was convinced to play for Germany because of the contact he had with the Bayern Munich players. I spoke with Gareth Southgate about that, and he said yes, it's a shame that the Munich players convinced him, because Jamal Musiala could have played for England as well. This is always good for Liverpool, and I spoke with Jamal Musiala also about this point, and I asked if there was any chance he could bring him in as one of his best friends to Munich, and he said no chance. I would really enjoy to play with him at the club, but I think he won't come to Munich. He will leave to the Bundesliga and go back home and play in the Premier League. So you can see it's the Liverpool players, not just Jurgen Klopp, that are doing a good job of getting Bellingham to the Premier League. The million-dollar question, of course, will Jude Bellingham be playing for Liverpool next season? Should we be getting excited, the Liverpool fans? That's why I think there is a very, very good chance. So the answer is yes. That's what Christian Falk is saying, because he would like to be there at the end. The clubs will have to talk, Liverpool will have to bring the money, and Dortmund will say yes or no to that. But if Bellingham says to Dortmund, listen to the Liverpool offer, then they will listen to it, and if it's a good enough offer, then Dortmund will say yes. And we have seen with Haaland and players before that they always get the money, and Dortmund can say yes or no, depending on, of course, Bellingham doesn't have a release clause, Haaland had a release clause, but also remember Jadon Sancho. The same transfer fees were rumored that Jadon Sancho would go for 120 million or 100 million pounds. In the end, he left for like 75, 80 million pounds to Man United. And Man United are a very rich club as well. So Dortmund might accept a lower transfer fee than the 150, 130 million euros that is rumored. But we shall wait and see what happens in the summer. Are there any other interesting names that Liverpool fans should be keeping an eye on in terms of future transfers? Christopher Nkunku is very closely linked to Chelsea. Joško Gvardiol, the Croatia centre-back. But there is a little chance that Liverpool can get this player, Gvardiol. I think he's one of the most exciting players that we have at the moment in Germany, and he's doing very well. I think in the defense you need a little bit of help at the moment, so perhaps if you get the chance to sign Gvardiol, then you should try it. And I think that would be a fantastic transfer, but at the moment Liverpool have Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip and Konate, so 4 very, very good centre-backs, and it looks like Matip is still going strong and Van Dijk as well, so we have to wait and see what happens with potential centre-back signing. But also tomorrow I will make a video on Enzo Fernandez, because there has been some very, very interesting rumours coming out of Portugal about the Enzo Fernandez transfer. So we have to wait and see what kind of news that is, but stay tuned, because on this channel you will be able to get all the latest Liverpool transfer news updates, which I'm really, really excited about. And Yaya Toure, the former Man City Premier League legend, has likened Jude Bellingham to Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard. And I can see the comparisons and why so many people make it, because Bellingham can do a bit of everything, just like Steven Gerrard. He's a jack of all trades, if you like. And the goal against Iran, said Yaya Toure, reminds me of Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, post scores, maybe more scores, big players who smell a chance, see the gap in the defense and just go into it. These type of players force opponents to not just worry about the forwards, they have to worry about Bellingham as well, because his running from the second line is brilliant. He doesn't look 19 years old, he looks like a well-established, world-class midfielder at the peak of his powers at 27. So it's frightening actually that at 19 years old Bellingham is this good. Imagine how good he will become when he's 25, 26, 27. He looks like a player who has been playing at a high level for a long period. He's going to be one of the best midfielders in the world, and he's showing his talents already. So that's, I think Yaya Toure has seen a lot of great midfielders, and if he says that Bellingham will be a great player, then I believe him, and I think that's pretty much nailed on with Bellingham's attitude and work rate and his family around him. The very, very good upbringing from his family. The way Bellingham conducts himself on and off the pitch, that's credit to his parents and everybody who helped him shape the man he is today. So come on Liverpool, let's sign Bellingham. And also I want to talk about the France-England game before we finish up this video. And I honestly thought that England were the better team out of the France-England. If you watch purely the highlights of the game and the clear-cut chances, England had the better chances. And it's such a shame that England doesn't have a better, more progressive manager than Gareth Southgate. France were there for the taking. Upamecano and Theo Hernandez had pretty shocking games. The 2 of their 4 defenders didn't play well, they didn't have a good game, and England should have exploited that. And yes, many people will say Gareth Southgate has done amazing with England. That's true. But if he was a better manager, then England would be champions of the Euros and England would be in the semi-finals of the World Cup facing Morocco. England will never get a better chance of getting to the World Cup final than this, honestly, and potentially winning the World Cup, because the France were there for the taking, in my opinion. But Gareth Southgate took Bukayo Saka off, who was England's best and most frightening, most threatening player. The France defenders were absolutely terrified of Saka, yet Southgate brings him off. Also, why not bring on Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is potentially the best crosser of the football in the whole world, and he sits on the bench when England need a goal. And also Gareth Southgate brings on Jack Grealish in the 96th or the 97th minute with just 2 minutes to go. Why not earlier? Also, England's top scorer, Marcus Rashford, only bringing him on with like in the 85th minute with 5 minutes to go of normal time. Absolutely crazy substitutions by Gareth Southgate. And if he changes formations, if he changes tactics, and if he tries to exploit the Theo Hernandez and Upamecano being so shaky on the left side of France's defense, then England could have won yesterday. Harry Kane's second penalty was one of the worst penalties of his career so far. And Harry Kane, even when he's 70 years old, as a grandpa, he will have nightmares about that penalty miss. Because if England equalize, then who knows, even with Gareth Southgate as manager, England could have, the momentum would have shifted and England could have turned the game around and won maybe in extra time. But France are the team who goes through to the World Cup semi-finals and potentially the World Cup final because of Gareth Southgate's really passive substitutions, and also he's not a great manager, guys. I just don't believe in him. I never believed in him. The only team who he knocked out in a knockout tournament was Germany, who was a pretty decent team, and also I think he knocked out Croatia in the Euros as well. But yeah, England should have beaten France with the talent that they have. Look at England's bench. Look at England's starting lineup. They actually had a better squad. Not necessarily a better starting 11, but a better squad than France. With all the absences that France had, they didn't have Pogba, Kante, and Nkunku and other players, and still France beat England. So that's my opinion. I think Gareth Southgate should be sacked because England, with a better manager, would have a much better chance of winning an international trophy. Let me know what is your opinion in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.